Very good Guidance and Placement Cell of All India Agriculture Students Association. I warmly welcome our today's speakers and all our participants to today's insightful webinar on higher study opportunities in Europe organized by AIASA. In recent years, pursuing higher studies in Europe has become an increasingly popular choice among the students worldwide. The academic excellence, cutting-edge research facilities, and the vibrant cultural experiences makes Europe an attractive destination for those who are seeking to broaden their horizons. The decision to study abroad is not merely an academic choice, but a life-altering venture that promises exposure to diverse cultures, academic excellence, and unparalleled personal growth. Thus, I hope our today's webinar organized by AIASA helps to students who are eager and interested to know about higher study opportunities in Europe. With this, I would like to invite Chief Coordinator of AIASA, Mr. Sajil Ahmed, to speak a few words on today's webinar.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Good evening to all of you. It is an honor to speak before you. I am Sajil Ahmed. Currently, I am serving as a Chief Coordinator in AIASA. As many students are present in this webinar who are not much aware of the AIASA, so firstly, let me brief introduction about AIASA. All India Agricultural Student Association is the professional organization for present and the former student in agriculture and allied subjects. The association was formally launched in 2011 by Honorable Union Minister for the State for Agriculture. AIASA envisioned a common platform for the agriculturists, technocrats, bureaucrats to collaborate and work together for the betterment of the Indian agriculture. Our vision is to promote application of the science in agriculture, which is often left back. We firmly believe that by placing the right person in the right place, we can revolutionize the agriculture sector. At present, AIASA have more than 60,000 of the registered member, and AIASA is continuously working for the welfare and resolving their problems with all our units and chapters. These webinars are the part of these activities. More than 5 webinars have already been conducted by the AIASA International Cell about the higher education opportunities in the US. This time, our expert will describe the current topic, admission process, and fellowship. I am confident that our esteemed speaker will provide enlightening the insight and invaluable knowledge their respective area of the expertise, offering a great benefit to our student. Thank you. If you are not a member of AIASA and become a member, the links are available on the our website and social media pages. Thank you so much. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, Mr. Sajil. Without a further ado, let's move on to the main part of our webinar. Before that, I would like to narrate the schedule of our webinar. Our first guest speaker is Ms. Sayasha Khanna, and the second guest speaker is Mr. Anil Krishnappa. And the first session will be covered by Ms. Sayasha, and it will be convened by myself. And the second session will be covered by Anil Krishnappa, and it will be convened by Ms. Somi Chowdhury. And 10 minutes of question and answer session will be held just after the presentation of each speakers. So now coming over to our first speaker, Ms. Sayasha Khanna. She completed her undergraduate from Punjab Agriculture University, and then she graduated from Erasmus Mundus Joint Master Degree. She was the only Indian in her batch to secure this full ride scholarship funded by the European Commission. And currently, she is the program representative of plant health, as well as she is representative of India at Erasmus Mundus Association. Just not that, she is the direct point of contact for all the Indian students who are in seeking of information regarding Erasmus Mundus scholarship. With this, I would like to welcome Sayasha. and to present a presentation regarding higher study opportunities in Europe through Erasmus Mundus scholarship. Over to you, Saisha.
Thank you for the great introduction, Gautami. And hi, I'm Saisha, and I'm just going to share my screen so that I can make my presentation show to all of you. Gautami, can you tell me if my screen is visible?
Yes, it is visible, Saisha.
Okay, great. So, hi, my name is Saisha, as Gautami has already told. So, what am I going to? So, first of all, who am I and why am I credible enough to give you this information? So, I recently graduated from Erasmus Mundus, which is a kind of scholarship program in which you study in more than 2 different countries and you get funded by the European Commission. So today, what am I going to discuss? I'm firstly going to discuss the benefits of this specific scholarship, the eligibility criteria, how to find nearly coming up next month, and the experience of Erasmus. And whatever questions you have after that, you can ask in the 10 minutes as Gautami told. So first of all, what are the benefits of going for an Erasmus? The first thing is that you don't have to pay any application fees. For example, if you apply for a specific university, whether it comes to US or Australia, you have to pay a specific fees, which could be nearly 7,000 to 10,000 rupees. Whereas when it comes to Erasmus, you don't have to pay anything for application. After this, when it was me, which was last year, who started. So for me, I just got 1,000 euros per month as a stipend, but now they have increased it to 1,400 euros per month. And then you don't have to pay for your tuition fees, you don't have to pay for your travel, you don't have to pay for your insurance, which has a lot of impact when you study abroad because insurance costs a lot. Then also, the thing is that because your insurance is covered by Erasmus, you can go for any medical service that you want to have when it's an emergency. Then the most biggest benefit of Erasmus is that you get to study in more than 2 different universities, 2 different countries. And for example, in my case, I studied in total 4 different organizations. It was 1 university in Spain and 3 universities in France. And then I did my master's thesis in another organization in Netherlands. The best thing is also that you need, for your master's thesis, you can pursue that anywhere in the world. You do not need to be dependent on a specific country. You need to just apply everywhere you want to have your master's thesis in. And because you have a scholarship, you have more chances of getting that specific master's thesis project because you're already funded by the European Commissions. Hence, it's easier for the professors to take you in their lab. Then the last thing is that when you attend the classes, when you have Erasmus Mundus courses, every evening you get an opportunity to learn new language, to learn the language of that specific country. Because, for example, when I was studying in Spain, I got the opportunity to each evening learn Spanish for 2 hours. And when I went to France, I got an opportunity to learn French. Even for 2 whole months, I had a whole course which was just focused on French for almost 4 hours per day. So it's quite intense, but also it's quite fulfilling, this specific program. So the first thing is that I'm going to show here what are the eligibilities. So the eligibility for getting selected for Erasmus is not at all tough. You just need to have bachelor's in the program which is related to the one that you're going to apply for master's. And the second eligibility is that you have a good English score because your studies will be in English. So, or they can be in other languages too, but depending on your specific program, you need to search that and then you can find what are the eligibilities. But the very basic eligibilities are these two. And after that comes the competition where you need to score better GPA, you need to have better motivation letter in comparison to other, but that's to talk about later. So when you see in the eligibility criteria on the right side, I have shown that M-Plant and Plant Health, these are two different Erasmus programs. And as you can see, what is considered is that the CV or your GPA has a high weightage normally when you apply for a master's. But as you can see in these two specific programs and also in other programs too, the weightage of GPA is not a lot. It is, but not a lot. There are other criteria through which you can also get selected if you have good activities, if you're doing good co-curricular, if you are good in something else, if you have good research experience, you can still get selected. The best thing is that it does not gives only weightage to your GPA, because Erasmus wants to select you as a person and not just based on your GPA, which is something that I find really good and really something that everybody should try for, because maybe you are the one that Erasmus was looking for. So the next thing that I'm going to tell is how to search for the specific Erasmus Mundus program that you want to go for. So if you guys want, you can just type right now on Google and write Erasmus Mundus catalog on your search bar on Google, and you can find the first link will be of the European Commission, this website, which is on the left. This will be the page that you can see. Then you go to the scholarships, you click there, and then you will find this Erasmus Mundus catalog, which is on the right side of the screen. And here you can see that there are 216 different programs written. So there are not 216 programs at the moment. It's just that they have written the old ones also here, which have already been concluded and are not going on right now. So what you need to do is, for example, if you are studying agriculture and you want to study agriculture for your future, you need to type in the keywords agriculture. If you want to study plants, write plants in the keywords. Or when you go, if you see by filter by, you can go for field of study and you can choose whatever field that you want to go for. So I feel that this is literally the best website where you can find everything related to Erasmus Mundus. It's an official website of European Commission. So this is where you can find everything, every program, every eligibility, what are the criteria of scholarship and everything. So definitely try this. So after this, I'm going to discuss to you about different programs that are related to agriculture specifically, and you should definitely try applying there. So the first one is M-Plant. So in anybody around here who is interested in plant breeding, who wants to pursue a master's in plant breeding, should definitely go for this specific program, because it is being conducted in nearly 4 different universities. You get to go to SLU, which is in Sweden. You can study in France, and then you have very excellent summer schools in plant breeding if you want to go ahead with this specific master's. And in this way, I'm going to discuss 4 or 5 other programs that I feel are very important for agricultural students if they're interested in. So the next program is Plant Health. This is the one that I applied for. So in this, I got the opportunity to initially start in Spain and then go for France in my second year and then do my thesis anywhere in the world. And for me, I chose it to be in Netherlands, and then you have a final orientation in which you get an opportunity to come back to Spain and to France for your thesis. So this is the program that I applied for, and I highly recommend you this program if you are interested in pursuing your future studies in entomology, in pathology, or in weed science. So this is a master's for the students who are highly interested in soil sciences. So this is an Erasmus Mundus which specifically focus on soil ecosystem, physical and chemical properties of soil. And the deadline is 2 months from now. So this is about this Erasmus. And the next one is for the people who are interested in technology of agriculture, food production. So anybody who is more into engineering or who wants to learn more about machinery or the current food chain should go ahead with this, because this is a program in which you get to study in different parts of Europe. There are so many countries, and you learn the structure of how agriculture moves there in those specific countries. So the next one I'm going to discuss for the people who are interested in economics and policy analysis. So in this program, you get an opportunity to learn about different trade policies, resource policies, about agribusiness. If you want to conduct research studies based on the agribusiness, which are currently getting explored or having startups in Europe, you can definitely learn about that through policy analysis. You are going to get a lot of courses in which you're going to learn about market and consumer research. So this is about the policy analysis program. The next thing is for the people who are interested in forestry. So this is a program for them. So now I'm going to also tell that these are the basic programs that I searched for, and I think are for people who are interested in different things. But also I want to tell that except, for example, sustainable forest and nature management, there are other forestry courses too that you can look for. Because, for example, there are forestry courses of Erasmus Mundus in global forestry, in Mediterranean forestry. So it depends on what you're interested in. And you can go in the Erasmus Mundus catalog and search for whatever Erasmus Mundus that you want to go for. So the next thing that I'm going to tell you is how was my experience in Erasmus, and you should definitely try for yourself, because there is no application fees. You do not need to worry about spending money on something and then you were like, oh my god, I didn't get selected, because the competition is extremely tough, as they are just going to select one person from each country. So that is something that you need to take into account. Don't get disappointed, but there are so many programs that if you apply, there are chances that you get selected. And I want to tell that the experience of Erasmus is amazing, because you get an opportunity to not just study in one place for 2 years, but instead you get an opportunity to study in more than one place, and you shift from one place to another in 6 months. For example, in my case, when I was in France, I got the opportunity to shift from one place to another in 2 months. I studied 2 months in south of France, then I went to Rennes, which is in north of France, and studied the agriculture there. And then I went to Paris and studied for 2 months there. So I got an opportunity to study in different parts of just one country, and you get this opportunity too. So the thing about Erasmus is that you get to study, but with that, you'll get to learn a lot about the world. You get to because you are going there alone. You're going there just by yourself, representing your country. So it gets tough initially to understand people, because, for example, even our native language is not English, so it gets a bit difficult to communicate because of the accents of different countries, and it just is. Initially it becomes very difficult, but once you start exploring, once you start meeting people who are your classmates, this, I guess, will be the most enriching experience for your whole life, because you get to meet people from absolutely different parts of the world, and there is just one person from each country, and it's just a collaboration between all of you, and you see the ideas of people coming from different parts of the globe. And definitely you become extremely self-independent after going for Erasmus, because you have to count on yourself when you are going to shift from one place to another. It's not going to be easy, but it's definitely going to be something that will empower you for life. You will be very confident with yourself. So you should definitely try for this program. So that's about it. And you can contact me on this specific email. I will be looking forward to your questions, and I will be ready to answer any question that you guys have. And I wish you good luck for the applications, because they are just coming up next month. Thank you. And I give the whole to Gautami again.
Thank you, Saisha. It was a very brief and with like I think you have completely covered all the key information regarding Erasmus Mundus scholarship. Now further, let's move on to our Q&A session. Your first question, like which was asked from one of like few of our students was the first question was from a forestry science student. His question is like he is pursuing masters in forestry science so that he will complete his masters by September 2024. So he wants to know what is the procedure to apply for PhD with the scholarship in European countries.
So the
Gautami,
specifics.
I just have one question. What about if we finish the presentations and some questions might be we both could answer? I mean, it's just left to you. What do you think?
And no, Anil, like if you can, like you can jump in and answer the question. It's fine actually.
Okay, that's fine. Thank you.
Okay, so about PhD when it comes to Europe. So the program that I told was for just masters, and they have something like this for the PhDs too. It's called Marie Curie. You can search on the internet writing Marie Curie doctoral programs. And there is this consortium of universities where you can study. Obviously, your study of forestry will be conducted in all the 3 years in just one university, but you get to go for summer schools in different countries, exploring that country and getting the knowledge that will enrich you for your research in those specific countries. So if you are interested in a PhD with the scholarship, definitely go for write Marie Curie on the internet, and you will find a lot of opportunities when it comes to your doctoral studies. And another thing is that you can directly email the professors, because when it comes to PhD, it's my point of view, I don't think ranking of a university matters as much as the professors' funding and the professors' research. Ranking definitely matters, but research matters a lot, because you will be dependent on that specific research project and that specific professor for 3 years when it comes to Europe, and 4 years when it comes to US minimum. So you need to make sure that the project is the one that you like, and for that you need to directly contact the professors, and they can tell you if there is any funding available, or if they can fund you in any way, if they have any private funding, or if they have any scholarship in mind that you should go for. So the best way to go for a forestry or just any doctoral program in Europe is definitely the first point of contact should be the professor that you're interested to go for. So,
thank you.
Anil, I don't know if you have anything extra to add.
Yeah, I think you covered almost everything. But one thing is you should keep in mind PhD in Europe is not studies, right? It's employment. So you would be considered as an employment. And any PhD, the open PhD positions, it will be available in the website. So when you go to the university websites, you go to the career page, and all the PhDs, which is public, even though if I work in a lab or in any department as a master's student thesis, I cannot just take it a PhD, because it's a rule in Europe that they need to publish in public. If they do, and the best candidates will be selected. So any PhD that's in the university, it will be listed in the university career page. So you really don't need, there is no other way, only the way which Shaisha said, like writing to the professor, and then you both look to the fundings, or you ask him if he has a funding, or you apply for the open PhD position, which is project based, which is already funded, and they're looking for a PhD student. Yeah.
Okay. Thanks both of you. As you told about Marie Curie program, is there any like we have to publish papers or something that sort of to get selected for that program?
So when they write for eligibility of a doctoral program, in the eligibility they write that the student should have bachelor's, should have master's. They write about the basic things that they want, but when it comes to publications, those things are recommended and not an eligibility. So when you are competing with 100 different people, and if other people have a publication whereas you don't, you might not stand a chance against those people. So this is not an eligibility criteria, but it is definitely a preferred criteria for the professors, because in PhD you are going to write different research papers, so they might prefer somebody who has already written those things and who knows the way to write. So it is simply a preferred qualification and not the eligibility criteria.
Yeah, thank you. And the next question was like as far as I'm seeing in the chats, I'm getting questions for agronomy,
Okay.
extension, floriculture, and genetics and genomics. Like for this,
I can answer for anything.
so like first, then we'll go with agronomy. Agronomy for masters.
Okay. Oh, okay. You mean that I tell you agronomy for masters Erasmus?
Erasmus, or like, yeah, you tell me the Erasmus and then we'll go for the generalized one.
So for me, when it comes to agronomy, I don't know which Erasmus is there extremely focused on agronomy or floriculture or extension, but the best thing is to go for, you know, the catalog and search by yourself, because you know you can find different programs that you even haven't like heard of, and you see that, oh my god, these are the things that are combined in just one master's program, and here it is. So I don't think you will find specifically for floriculture, but when it comes to master's thesis, you can do it anywhere. So even if, for example, you go for a plant breeding, because for example, if you want to go for floriculture, it means that you want to study flowers, but what in flowers? You want to study their entomology, you want to study their pathology, you want to study the tillage, you want to study the breeding part, the biotechnology part. At the end, you need to go back to the basics of what you want to study. So even if it's floriculture, for example, and you want to study flowers, do your masters in plant health or plant breeding or soil or anything, and then go for a master's thesis, maybe in the Netherlands, where they have a lot of tulips and they want to study on tulips, and you find different, if you want to study breeding of flowers, you want to study entomology of flowers, you want to study diseases of flowers, go ahead with that. So for me, I cannot tell the exact Erasmus Mundus for agronomy or for floriculture exactly, but this is what I'll tell. Don't be focused, be open to different opportunities, and you know, if you're interested in something, you find a way. It's not like, okay, I don't have Erasmus Mundus in floriculture. It's never like that. You just need a research project in something that you're interested in, and when you have an opportunity to pursue your master's thesis anywhere, go with the companies that you think are also dealing or researching with the same thing that you want to research for, or a research organization. So this is what I will tell for the people who are very specific of what they want to go for.
Okay, Sasha. The thing is,
Yeah.
like, this Erasmus deals with masters.
Yes.
So here we are getting questions for the postdoc. So is there
Okay.
any opportunities for postdoc? Like that does Erasmus Mundus covers the postdoc, or we should have any other fellowships for postdoc? And like they have mentioned few disciplines also, like soil science and water management, hydrology, uh, some like that for postdoc opportunities. So what's your take on this?
For me, I cannot technically answer for postdoc because that's something that I've never explored myself. But I know that there are people who are pursuing postdocs. It's the same way as Erasmus. You get to study in different locations. And the postdoc is also called Marie Curie postdoctoral positions. If you go for the website that I told, literally the website, I can go back and show you. It's the website. It's like heaven when it comes to scholarship. You find everything just here. You go to European Education and Culture Executive Agency and you there is written home, then you go for scholarships, you find scholarships for masters, you find scholarships for PhD, you find scholarships for postdoctoral positions. So there is a postdoc, it's called Marie Curie Postdoctoral Network, and this is where you can search for any postdoctoral position that you want to go for, and they will have consortium for. I will give you an example, because I for myself is interested in, for example, entomology. So there is something called insect doctors. If you go and type it on Google search bar, you write insect doctors postdoctoral network Marie Curie, you will see that there is a consortium of universities where you can pursue postdoctoral positions. Will be the same way as masters. You will get to study in different locations, will be funded just like Erasmus. It's just the name is different. It's called Marie Curie postdoctoral position. If you want to go for postdoc, if you want to go for PhD, it's called Marie Curie doctoral positions. It's, yeah.
Okay. Okay, Saisha, like I just want to know, like for you, in case this, how did like participating in this specifically Erasmus Mundus fellowship, which has it contributed to your career advancement or further for your postgraduate opportunities? If it is so, like we want to know how, like how much it has been contributed to your further studies and for your this career advancement.
For me, when I compare it with a regular master's program, the way it has helped me, the first point I would say is it helped me build connections. When I studied in different universities, I get to have courses from people who are from that university, and I get to spend like some months in that university, which helps me to directly contact with the professor. Normally, when you contact on Gmail to the professor, there are many chances, and it has happened with me, it happens with everybody. You don't get reply from each and every professor that you want. Like it has happened with me when I was applying for masters, and it's just something that happens. So when you are studying in that specific university and you want to study in that specific professor's lab, he's just in front of you, you can just go to his lab and knock his door and go ahead and ask your questions. So that's something that has helped me a lot. Like it helps you to build connections. This is something that is extremely amazing when it comes to Erasmus. And the second thing is, when it comes to Erasmus, you get an opportunity to study in different language. For example, I completed my I studied initially in Spain, where it was in English, but when it comes to France, I studied my whole education in French. I gave my exams in French. Everything was in French. When you go ahead for the PhD opportunities, for example, if you want to go ahead and study in France, maybe, who will they prefer? A person who at least speaks a bit of French in comparison to the person who does not. So it all comes down to competition after the Erasmus and what benefits you got during your journey. For example, language. Now I know more than 3 languages, which has helped me a lot when I have to network with other people. The other thing is that it helps you explore. So when I was in Erasmus, I got an opportunity to go for a lot of conferences. A lot. I have been to conference, almost one conference after every 3 months or something. It was an amazing experience, because when you are going for conference, that's where you build connection, you build networks, and there are professors who might have some PhD opportunities for you, and then you can just directly connect. If you see their students research, their poster, and you find that, oh, this is something that you're interested in, you ask them directly. So I guess Erasmus Mundus not just helps, so Erasmus Mundus in this way helps you build connections and helps you learn new language. There are courses which are just amazing, and you do it practically, a lot of things. So this is the academic aspect of Erasmus that will help you go ahead in compared to other students. And the other thing that professors consider when you go ahead for a PhD is that you have a strong sense of individualism and you are very self-independent, because PhD is something in which you are on your own. So this is something that professors might look for. And they see that if you have traveled so many countries, and it's not, there were not people from like you knew nobody, you started from day zero. There were people from different countries that you were interacting with. You're not speaking in your native language, you're shifting after every 3 months, you're not in a country where people speak English. So these are the things that also professors see. It's not just the academic aspect. So I feel that in this way Erasmus has helped me a lot when it helps to building connections and to be a preferred applicant after my master's.
Thank you so much, Asaisha, for answering like almost all the questions. Still, we have a lot of questions, but let's move on to the next speaker for now.
Yeah.
And the remaining questions we will cover at the end. Okay, thank you,
Sure.
Saisha. And now it's over to you, Somi. I just hand over the session to Somi.
Am I audible?
Yes. Over to you, Somi. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you. A very good evening, everyone. I am Somi Chaudhary, State Coordinator, All India Agriculture Student Association, Uttar Pradesh. So, moving ahead, our next topic of discussion for now, scholarship available from the Union and State Government of India. And for this, we have Mr. Anil Krishnappa. I would like to introduce Mr. Anil Kumar Gazagga Krishnappa with his education background. He has done his graduation in Agriculture Science from College of Agriculture, Hassan, University of Agriculture Science, Bangalore, Karnataka, India. Master in Agriculture Science in Tropic and Subtropic at Hans Rottenberg Institute of Tropic, Faculty of Agriculture Science, University of Hohenheim at Stuttgart, Germany. He is currently working as an interim project coordinator for the Project Knowledge Center for Organic Agriculture, IFOAM, Organic International Bonn, Germany. The honors and award I would like to bring to your notice. Krishnappa has been sponsored with post-metric and metric scholarship by Government of Karnataka, Prabhuda Overseas Youth Scholarship, Best College President Award by All India Agriculture Student Association. Coming to his working experience, he has wealth experience at scientific consultant, master trainee, research assistant, and team leader. Without further ado, I invite Mr. Anil to share his expertise with us. Sir, please.
Thank you so much for your kind introduction. Please, thank you so much and welcome to you all. And I will be speaking a bit general on the how to get to admissions in Germany or like in Europe. I mean, when I say about Germany, it also applies to the all European states, if I'm not wrong. Shesha, please correct me if I'm wrong. Apart from the tuition fees, I think the procedure is almost same. So can I please share my screen? Can someone please tell if you can see my screen?
Yes, sir, your screen is visible.
Am I audible?
Yes, you're audible and we can see your screen, Anil.
Sorry? Okay, sorry, I could not hear that. Okay. Once again, thank you so much. And then yes, I kept it as an abroad study guide. Guys, I'm really sorry. I don't know. I was kicked out of the meeting for some reasons. Host, can you please allow me to share the screen? I'm not able to share the screen.
Yes, Anil. For a second.
Yeah. Yeah, I got it now. Yeah. So can you all see my screen? Someone please confirm.
Yeah, we can see your screen, Anil.
Yes, sir.
Yes, I'm really sorry. I don't know what's happening
Yes,
with my
Anil. Yes,
internet's
yes.
okay. I will just okay. Then the master thesis, I said like I was working with International Livestock Research Institute, and yeah, okay, thank you. And then master trained in Switzerland, consultant. And I'm sorry because I did not give my recent CV. I finished my work at IFOM. Now I'm working as a manager in ECOA, which is in Bangalore. Actually, it is an international competence center for organic agriculture. So, first thing is how do you select your program and the university? Once is like you need to go to Google search, select your preferred degree program and the university. And then you need to know the difference between what kind of the colleges are there and the universities are there, because you need, especially in Europe, you really need to understand the difference between the private universities and public universities, especially in Germany, because Germany, especially, they don't take any fees as a tuition fees. The only fees they charge is like an admission fees, which is probably around 100 to 300, like an average of 100 to 300 euros of the euros. So please be careful when you apply, when you're looking for like which universities, either it's public or either it's private. And some of the recommended universities in Germany, one is University of Hohenheim, which is like almost in the top 5 to 6 position in the world ranking. And then one is the Technical University of Munich, University of Bonn, like which was Shaisha was already talking about some of the agricultural policies, and the University of Göttingen, University of Gießen, University of Kiel, University of Kassel, and then of course, then you need to shortlist also for the same, for any country that you are interested in. Either could be for France, either could be for Spain, or could be for Italy. So first thing you need to do is like go to Google, look for the universities and look for the programs that they're offering. And you see if your interest matches with the university or the degree program they're offering, and then make a short list. Because I mean, there are like thousands of universities and millions of courses. You cannot apply for everything. So please make a short list of the
There might be a internet glitch in his system, so it's taking time, and his voice is also not much audible, and it's cracking. So he's taking few minutes of time. So Sayasha, if you can, can we continue with some questions until he joins?
For sure.
Okay. There was one question which I found it interesting. That is opportunities in India after Erasmus Mundus fellowship.
For that, I think Anil will be the better person to simply answer better opportunities because he's right now in India. For me, I did not search for any opportunity in India because I had this in my mind that I want to study abroad. So I am not the best person to answer that question.
Okay. Then one more question is the scholarship amount is same for all the courses which we take?
Yes, any course you go for, it's the exact same. It's 1,400 euros for whatever course you go for. And also the other thing is that the Erasmus Mundus program, it also offers course to the people who do not get scholarship. For example, when I was studying, there were people who didn't get the scholarship and they pay everything by themselves. So if you're very interested in a program, just in case you don't get a scholarship, you can see that opportunity too. I mean, it's your wish.
Okay,
if you want to.
I think Anil is back.
Mhm.
Anil?
Yeah, Gautami, I'm really sorry. I don't know what's happening with my computer today. And yeah, would you mind? Yeah, would you mind? I will give like an oral talk, seeing my screen,
it's fine. It's fine.
and then I will share my presentation with you guys. Is that fine?
Sure. It is fine. It is fine. You can give the oral presentation itself.
Yeah, and everyone, please accept my sincere apologies. I don't know, this is the first time I'm also facing. Usually, I'm well equipped with the technology, but yeah.
It's okay. Can you continue now?
Yeah, did you hear until the university names, right?
Yeah, actually the universities, that slide, your voice was too much cracking.
Okay.
We could just see them, we couldn't hear you talking.
Okay, I'm sorry. So some of the recommended universities in Germany, I was speaking about University of Hohenheim, which I studied, which is also globally ranked under 10th. Under 10, I think usually it changes 5th place, sometimes 6th place, sometimes 11th, like in around 10. And then one is the Technical University of Munich, which has Technical University of Munich per se is one of the global number, less than 20 ranking because of the technical side, but it also has the agriculture faculty there, but limited courses. And then the University of Bonn, if you would like to know more about University of Bonn, Dr. B.R. Ambedkar did one of his master's degree in University of Bonn on the environmental sciences or something, if I'm not wrong. And then the University of Göttingen and the University of Gießen, University of Kiel, and University of Kassel. These are the most recommended public universities in Germany. And of course, like you should also look for the same in the other countries. Which what I mean is, when you go for the searching for the university, it could be in the DAD portal or it's in the Google portal, just in the Google. When you go and search, please don't try to apply for all the courses. Don't you always go through what's the study program offers, what are the modules they're offering, modules in the sense courses that what we say, and then choose what fits you, what fits your interest. And then one of the one of the primary requirements what you need is one is the 4-year degree program. Please keep this in mind, because in Germany they don't accept 3-year degree program. You must have 4-year degree program, and at least with 6 semester completed, which means if you finish your 3rd year already, and then you are already eligible to apply for masters. Like I did the same. I applied for my masters when I was already in the 7th semester, which means after in the 4th year, 1st semester of my 4th year. So even before going to RAVE or during RAVE, I don't remember, I was applying at this time. So if you have your mass cards, completed mass cards with more than 75%, now it's more than 75%, you can already apply. So I mean, of course, it's going to be a bit hectic because you need to manage your RAVE, like hands-on training or other way around, like however the other university deals, and then also managing with this. And then one more thing is curriculum vitae, CV. Not all the universities ask, but of course, like many of the universities ask for CV. And one of the most important thing is letter of motivation. Letter of motivation is what explains you. This is you. When they see it, they don't know who is Anil, who is Gautami, or who is Saisha. They see what is your letter of motivation, what is your motivation, and then they say, okay, we will give admission to this guy. And also, please, when you choose the consultancies, choose wisely. I don't recommend, I don't say like, don't go for consultancy, because I myself own a consultancy company in Bangalore. So, but when you choose rightly, who is doing a personalized work, not like I was in the evaluation committee last year, not last year, in 2022. I got 100 applications for the same university from the same consultancy and the same motivation letter, except the name was changed. And then I rejected all the 100 applications with no reason. I didn't even look for the application. I applied in the software for plagiarism check. I checked and the 100 letters were same, and we rejected everything. So please keep this motivation letter. Even in my consultancy, I'm not promoting, but I'm just telling, even in my consultancy, I tell my student, this letter should be done by you. What I can do is only correct grammar checking and to make it much nicer. But your story, I don't know. Like, I don't know your story. What's your motivation to study agriculture? What's your motivation to study plant breeding? So please, keep this as a very personal thing. Like your grade 75%, it's not like they will check, okay, who is 75%, 0.1, 0.2. No, they say, okay, everyone who's 75, more than 75%, okay, you've passed the first test. Next, they see your letter of motivation. And then the letter of recommendations you can take from one of the, I don't know, deans, or like, like if you guys have any problem with taking the recommendations, please contact me. I will get you from your VC or deans or whoever else is there. Like, so these things you don't need to worry. You just contact me until I will make it happen. And then, which is the English proficiency certificate, like Shaish already spoke, which this is not a eligibility to study masters, but this is to certify or to quantify that you can survive with speaking English, with good English. Because like English is a global language. Of course, when you go to the country, you need to learn the language, which is most important thing. Like I really agree completely what Shaish said. Like when you go to other country, you need to learn the language, at least the basics. So, and then you will be able to communicate better way, like, discuss with the people or whatever it is. And then applying for a degree program. Once you fulfill all the requirements, like all the requirements apply for the interested courses offered by different universities. So you shortlist, and then one good thing is in Germany, at least also in Europe, you can apply for 3 different courses in the same university. And the selection committee for 3 different courses is different people. So Gautami is adding 1 chair, I am adding 1 chair, and Shaisha is adding 1 more chair. So your results or your evaluation from Gautami will not be shared to me, or she should not be shared. If she shares, it will be under the court, like it will be under the civil offense. So she cannot share, because it's her up to mind that how she evaluated a profile. So you apply to 1 more course, and I will be evaluating. So please apply for all the 3 courses. Don't think like, it's not like India. you apply to one professor and the guy goes and speaks to the other professor, hey, ye banda wo banaya, he did this, don't give to him. No, it doesn't happen in Europe. Like, it's very professional. They don't even speak about this. They can be good friends. Even there can be a couple, husband and wife, about dealing two different programs, and they don't share the information about the profession things. So that the secret or whatever it is maintained up to that. And most importantly, application procedure is unique for every university. Follow the instructions of particular university. Each and every university has their own set of like regulations, how to apply. Some of them go through the universities. For some of them, you just need to send all the documents to the coordinator of the course. And some university, you just need to apply, like, there will be like, Google form or something like this. You need to apply all the information and send your documents as one PDF file. So please be careful when you're doing, like, every university has their own set of regulations, how you need to apply for the masters. And then, of course, the most important thing is money, what are the expenses you should have? One is the semester contribution, which I said about the normal application fees. One is the basic living expenses, rent, food, clothing, books, telephone, etc. And then the health insurance coverage and the tuition fees only if applicable. It doesn't apply for the public universities. And of course, there is one or two states in Germany also where they collect the tuition fees, but which is really less compared to the States or Australia or like UK. So it's almost like 1,500 euros per semester. It's like 1,20,000 per semester. I think you will pay the same amount if you study in Christ College in Bangalore. So what are the kind of scholarships that you can apply? The most important thing, like, one is, I always speak about Prabuddha Overseas Scholarship. It's exclusively for the bona fides of state of Karnataka. Government of Karnataka provides this scholarship. An extraordinary program. They fund each and every single penny that you spend in abroad. So from your air tickets, from your visa fees, for everything, like when I was studying, I used to get like my tuition fees, everything, and plus 9,000 euros of yearly expenditure, which is almost 8 lakhs per year as my living expenditures for my food, my rent, and everything. And then the similar pattern, there is also National Overseas Scholarship. So I want to mention this Prabuddha Overseas Scholarship and National Overseas Scholarships for the students who come under the scheduled caste and scheduled tribes. And there is also same for the students who come under the other background castes, which is OBC, and also for all other communities, like maybe except one or two categories. And then also there is like Erasmus, which is already covered, and there is also DAD scholarship that you can also look for, because I will not go into much into scholarships. I will keep it, and as I mentioned about general. And then what is the procedure after getting admission? One is the enrollment. Once you get the admission, it doesn't mean that you are already enrolled at the university. Then you need to enroll. Enrollment is saying that, okay, I am coming to the university. And then you also need to make physical enrollment, that is after you reach for the country. And also nowadays, the real estate is so hugely problematic in Europe. You should also look for the accommodation, which is really important. It's not so easy as we go in Bangalore. Okay, we go Shivaji Nagar, like, 2 roads, and you see the two-let boats, and you just contact them. No, you need to, this a shit lot of procedure. I think it's even harder to get accommodation than getting a admission. But some of the universities, they provide accommodation for 1 year, or like, sometimes 2 years for the international students. Of course, you need to pay, but they will already have some apartments, like, only for international students. And then preparation for visa, and then the travel, of course. So I will just give about, I don't know, is there any many students from Karnataka? Should I really speak about Prabhudas scholarship, or like should we keep it as general?
I think let's keep it as general. I don't think it's majorly Karnataka, but you can talk in general. If there is any questions,
Yeah.
they'll put up in the chat box. I'll just ask you.
Okay, I mean, Prabhupada Overseas Scholarship website, it explains itself. Also, National Overseas Scholarship, there is nothing, the same government procedures. So you need to get 65%. And most important thing is, for any scholarships in India, that you need to have a good reputed university, the admission from the reputed university, usually top 200 universities in global ranking. So this is the most criteria, having more than 65%, passing a degree with a good grade, which is more than 65%, and then having a admission from the great universities, okay, with a good QS ranking. So this is the one, and the rest is like nothing. This only the the government procedure. You need to wait wait until you get in. And then, of course, I know this shouldn't be the case, but I am also, like, as I said, like, I will do personalized consultancy with a very low fees. You can contact me. I have a GKS Educational Services consultancy company. So I can share some of the students who already went through me, and they will show you the feedback. And one more most important news I also wanted to share is, like, this time together with government of Karnataka, India, and also ICOWA, we as an International Competence Center for Organic Agriculture, we're organizing the International Trade Fair for Millets and Organics 2024. This is the 5th edition. We started in 2017 with the initiative of Government of Karnataka, and then we brought into Government of India to promote the millets. And Government of India, together with other countries, contacted FAO. That's when it became the Year of Millets 2023. So this was the initiative by Government of Karnataka, and we will have at least 4 lakh guests for 3 days. For students, it's free. If you want to attend the conference, it's 250 rupees, and to be a visitor, it's free. So please make use of this, whoever is close by, and experience the what's happening in the organic and millet era. So, and one more important information is the deadline for the most of the winter courses is the 15th of March. In Europe, like, usually this is the deadline for all the courses that you apply, which means the deadline for the courses which are going to start October next year. And thank you for your attention, and good luck with your application. So please shoot your questions now.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Anil Krishnappa, for that insightful. I covered all the procedure and for admission and the scholarship process. Now, we are opening the floor for Q&A session. Please feel free to drop your question in the chat box, and we will try to address as many as possible. Till then, we will be discussing pre-submitted questions. So our first question is ideas for doing PhD in dairy technology with a scholarship. Mr. Krishnappa, would you like to address that?
Yes, as Shaish already said, there is no such thing called PhD for dairy technology. In Europe, there is no PhD program for dairy technology. What in dairy technology? What technology that you want to use? Like, I don't know, maybe, sometimes we are using these lasers to detect the methane emission, like, laser guns, like this specific thing. PhD is a very, very specific thing in Europe. Maybe one small thing, like, I don't know, how to write, like, Anil Kumar, you can do a PhD there because it's so specific. PhD is there. So to be honest, like, I cannot really answer, because what you need to do is, like, what's the specific thing that you're looking, what's your specific research question that you want to answer. There are 2 options again. One is the open positions, such which someone is already doing a project, they will advertise in the group, they will advertise in the career page, or you come up with an extraordinary idea and contact some of the people who are doing this research, go to LinkedIn. Also, this time, like, nowadays LinkedIn is really, really professional. You can find all the PhD programs, because even now universities are accepted that to post things in the LinkedIn, so you will find it. So these are the only 2 ways, but in general, I cannot really answer, okay, what's the dairy technology, but you need to really go a bit more specific. I hope I answered at least a part of the question. Yeah. I cannot hear.
Hello.
Yes, please. Yeah.
Yeah, so you're audible, but voice is cracking.
Okay. I cannot really hear, but now, yes,
Okay.
I can hear you again.
Is it okay now? Is it okay now? Can I proceed?
Yes. Completely. I can hear you now completely. Yeah.
Okay.
Really hear, but could you please just type the question in the chat?
I think
Sorry,
there is.
Yaman, I don't know where. Yeah,
Yeah, now I can hear you again.
now, can you say about the expenses
Yes, I
per
can
month
hear
or
you now.
per year, likewise share
Mhm.
with the students? Yeah.
Yeah, so for master students, there is always like, revise, like they always so this is standard for your food, rent, health insurance, for your BS, etc., etc. Please don't take me wrong, your BS are food in BS are not alcohol in Europe, it's a food. So is there any other questions, please?
Yes, more questions are there. And
Actually,
next
Anil,
coming
I have
is
few
there
more
any
questions.
course?
Sorry?
Anil, I have few more questions.
Yes, please go ahead.
Okay. As in chat box, I saw there was one question. He was asking, like applying for assistant professor or research scientist in abroad countries.
Mhm.
So for this, like, is there any procedure like to follow?
No, it's also same procedure as PhD that I was explaining. Like, usually it will be in website, and they will, for assistant professor, what they really look is the papers. For someone also the teaching experience, someone should have a really teaching experience. But I don't know, because to be honest, the chances are really, really narrow, because there are so many academic people like who are there. I don't know. Maybe I would suggest, if someone wants to become assistant professor, I would suggest to go for a postdoc. I mean, postdoc, you can do plenty of postdocs. So it would be better to go as a postdoc first, work as 1 or 2 years or 3 years as a postdoc there, and then apply for, because I don't think any European countries will accept someone who did PhD year and postdoc and directly recruiting as assistant. At least I have never seen this situation, unless it's a IT or computer engineering or something, but at least not in agriculture. That I never came to this. I mean, this is not to disappoint someone, but I'm just being honest.
Or can you tell about any other fully funded scholarships that we can avail in European countries? Like just
From
you can
Europe,
list it out maybe.
from Europe or from India?
Europe, actually, they have mentioned as European countries.
Yes, but getting scholarship from India or from the Europe to study in Europe. There's two things, no? Like studying
Yes, you
Europe.
can you can address both, like from India and in Europe.
Okay, from Europe, I just know Erasmus Mundus and one is also that scholarship, like probably you might be knowing. But only tricky thing in that scholarship is like you need to have 2 years of working experience. So you cannot just right after your, I mean, if I'm not wrong, this is what the latest knowledge that I have about that scholarship is like you need to have a bachelor's and you should have worked at least 2 years in this field. Especially, I mean, the higher acceptancy for that scholarship is for the agri-economic students. There's a huge scope for agri-economic students who want to do masters with that scholarship, but only thing is again like they need to have like at least 2 years of working experience. And then from the government of India, I am really sorry to say this. There was also some scholarship from last 3-4 years. I don't know why they stopped some of the scholarship from the union government, but every each state has their scholarships. Like as I said, like Prabhudas scholarship, and also there is one from Maharashtra, and also Telangana. They're gonna hopefully, as they promise with the new government, they're gonna resume the scholarship they had before. And Andhra Pradesh also stopped these scholarships, but these are the only ones that I know. But unfortunately, there is Only, yeah, okay, yeah, please
Okay,
go ahead.
like you were telling about Prabuddha and National Overseas Fellowship. That those both are only for Karnataka people in India, or any other state people can apply for that?
No, Prabuddha is from the government of Karnataka only for the Karnataka students. And National Overseas Scholarships comes under the National Union Government. It's for all the students in any country. Yeah.
And one more thing is, the post graduation done in foreign countries, is it valid for PhD in India? Like we will complete our post graduation from abroad countries, and then we'll come back to India, so that we can be do post like a PhD here, a doctoral degree here, taking that as post graduation.
Yeah.
Is this
Even before
applicable?
answering that, like, I would say, like, if you want to do PhD in India, don't go to postgrad in Europe. But to be fact, like, no, because you will not be available because sorry, you will not be you cannot apply for reasons that, like, you in state or in India there were rules. No, you should do your masters in ICAR accredited universities or something like this. So in this point, you cannot do PhDs. And I will tell you one more thing: if you do your postgrad in abroad, you will not be you don't be uh, like, thinking about doing PhD again in India. Mark my words. And if someone wants to prove me wrong, please do that.
Okay. And my last question from the
Please.
chat box, I'm taking this. That is, which country is perfect for higher studies in agriculture and horticulture sector, along with like doing higher studies, and also we should have opportunity to do part-time jobs while studying. So, which countries do you think like it is preferable by students for these type of conditions?
See, for Indians, for studying anything, even today, the best countries are United States, UK, Australia, and Canada, because we have a long-lasting relationship with those countries, and people are working. There's so much of Indian communities, but the only thing is it's so expensive. You can finish masters in Germany or European country with 25,000 euros or 25 lakhs to 30 lakhs. But if you want to do the same in states, you need at least maybe 60 to 70 lakhs. So it depends what you are looking for. For me, personally, why I chose Germany, though I got full scholarship. So, India, you get scholarship. It's not 100% until it gets into your account. So I wanted to be safer, and then I went for Germany, because even if I don't get, like, it's not so expensive. But if you want less money, you don't want to spend more money, and also working experience, and you will get the good opportunities for working everything, then I would say definitely Germany. And also what do you say, the visa extension after your studies, it's so easy in Germany. And also studying, like studying in Germany, you can study forever. With your masters, you can do it in 5-6 years. They don't care. You just need to apply for the leave of absence, because they don't say, okay, you need to finish your masters. You need to complete 4 semesters, 120 credits. That's it. You can complete whenever you want.
Okay, Anil, thank you for the very insightful suggestions you have given. And I have taken almost all the questions from the chat box. So now I would like to hand over the session to wind it up by Somi. Somi, over to you. Thank you. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, ma'am. Left, which was pre-submitted. Can I ask that, sir?
Sorry?
Sir, actually, the 2 questions which was pre-submitted. Can I ask that?
Yes, please go ahead. Yeah.
Yeah, the one question was that it's very interesting that according to you, is there any specific courses or demanded that you're going to get a placement in
Placement where, in India or?
Europe?
You see, there's also one more thing. It's all depends, like for me, I would not really be able to generalize. Anything you do better, you do the best one, and you get it placement. There is no recipe that, okay, if you do this one, the best thing to get a job in Europe is to be a software engineer, because they need a lot of software engineers, and you get a job easily. But when it comes to agriculture field, the the most jobs that Indians could get is the research and development, because we can never be a extra what do you say, like extension agents or anything in Europe, because with the language barrier and everything. So for me, I really don't know if there is any specific course that you will get a job. Of course, always plant breeding and plant nutrition is always there. But apart from this, I'm really sorry, I will not be able to answer that one.
Okay. So with this, we come to an end of this Q&A session. Thank you for making it so informed. If anyone is still so, if anyone has any query, please feel free to connect. Webinar. I would like to express my gratitude to each one of us and everyone for joining us today. Your participation has truly made this session engaging and insightful. A big thank
Somi, you are not audible.
Your mic is on mute, Somi.
was my mic was off.
It was off.
Yeah. And I would like to express my gratitude to each and everyone for joining us today. Our participation has truly made the session engaging and insightful. A big thank to our fantastic speakers for sharing their expertise and valuable insight. Your presentation had been enlightening, and we appreciate the time and effort you have put into so make use of it. Thank you and have a wonderful day. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, everyone, and again, my apologies for my very stable internet connection. Bye.
Thank you, everyone.